Good morning all, it's Denise here and I'm in my editing room getting a video ready to show you how I turn this painting into this painting. And it's a really fun process I want to share with you, and along the line I'm also going to share with you one of my favorite apps on my iPad that I use on my iPad to help me find my way through a painting and get to an end that I'm pretty happy with. So stick around for that. And until then, I'm just going to show you what I was up to. So this was a demo piece I did in a workshop and never knew where to go with it. I thought I'd make it a horizontal, but I just could not fight the flowers that I saw. So unfortunately, this video, a lot of it is going to be vertical shots of this piece of work because that was just an easier way to be able to show the whole piece as I was working on it, so I apologize for that. But as you can see, I've gone in and I've added and I've taken away. I had added flowers to this piece, and then I just got to where I was, whoa, start over. Get to a place where you can start over. So I just kind of painted over everything and kept some big shapes that I liked. And then went in and did one of my favorite things, which is negative painting, and just going around and finding shapes and letting things show up. I could reveal things that were underneath that I wanted to show through. I could let some of that messiness underneath create interesting flowers and shapes for me to work with. And this is where I ended up. And this is also where my favorite app comes in to help me find my way the rest of the way through this painting. And I use YouDoodle, and I'll link that in my description below. But it's my favorite go-to app and go-to tool that I use. So when I'm at a point where I don't really want to throw more paint or papers at my canvas, I'd rather wait and see, work some things out on my iPad. So I'm going to share with you how I did that on my iPad with my YouDoodle app, and then we'll come through the other side and you'll see where it ended up. Okay, so here I am in the studio this morning, and I want to show you a quick little trick that I like to use. It helps me find my way around a painting when I'm still working on it, to kind of decide, well, do I want to get rid of that green? Do I want to add another flower? What do we want? What do I want to do? And kind of when I get stuck, I go to my YouDoodle app, and that's YouDoodle. I know there are a lot of applications and a lot of things you can use to do this with, but this is pretty quick and easy for me. It's on my iPad, it's on my phone. If I want to look at something and do a photo of one of the pieces I'm working on and kind of take a look and see where I'm going with it, it makes it really easy to sometimes make decisions when I'm stuck. So here I am on my page. This was the painting earlier on. And I am going to go up here in my right-hand corner and hit import. I'm going to import another photo. I'm going to say edit photo. I'm going to go to my camera roll. Here it is. And this is where the painting is now. And I can go in and it has cropping lines, a cropping tool. It's cropped where I want it, so I'm going to hit done. There it is. This is where I'm at now. Still not wild about this darkness over here. And with the flower that I added, I just took a tube of white paint and directly squished it onto my canvas. And it's still not quite enough to make that flower pop out. So what do I want to do? I'm going on to my YouDoodle, and a couple things I want to fix fast are, I want to get rid of this darkness and maybe change my background color. So there's an eyedropper here that says pick. I'm going to hit that, and I'm going to go to this light color, which will show up here in the circle, and I can move that around to pick the color I want. So right now I'm good with that light green, and it shows up in my pick. Let me see, to make it fast, now whatever of these tools that I hit that have color, because I've picked that green, when I hit that tool, it's going to turn green. This is the fill tool. And this makes it really easy to quickly and change a color. And I can make it change the whole painting. I can control it right here. And maybe I want to bring it down a little bit. I actually want this changed more than anything. So I'm going to say, let me take a little bit more of that space up. Okay, I'm going to say okay on that. I also want to change this down here. Uh-oh, not all of that. So this is already set. I want to change this lighter, this kind of brown color down there. I think definitely want to get rid of this. There we go. I don't mind the irregularities, so I'm going to say okay on that. Now I've kind of blocked out that, blocked out that dark area that I wasn't really wild about. Now let's look at the flower. I am going to take some of this color and I'm going to go in and add it as shadow areas on the light side of the flower. I'm going to say the light is hitting here and the darker part of the flower will be here. If I make it all the same color, it's going to be too flat. Now, within these tools, I can go to this brush. I can decide how opaque I want it to be, what size I want it to be, and glow. And glow, let me see if I can show you what glow is. Glow is, it gives kind of an edge around it. Let me do it differently. If I want to do the glow, let's say I want to do red on my glow. I think this is how you do it. I don't very often use it. Oh, there, you can see it. So that's the glow. If I want to add, a color around, which is actually kind of cool because that's a color in my flower. If I don't want this, all I have to do is hit the return button and those lines go away. But I think I'm kind of liking it with that glow. And I just want to add some little shadowy areas. These are going to be my shadowy areas of my flowers. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do the flowers in paint or papers or both, using some mixed media elements. Not really sure on that yet. So there is some green added into my flower. Now let's go to, I think I would like to have, oddly enough, I'd like to have kind of this orangey color. And I see it right there in the box. I'm not sure it's going to be the right color that I want for up here. Come on. Oh, and I didn't turn the glow off, but that's okay because it's working with the flowers that I have. And I'm just getting a feel of what that color is going to be. I can also go in and, let me turn that off. I'm going to take my glow down. Let's see, I may want this to be a different color. Now, there's all these really cool patterns you can add in, but that's not what I'm going for. I'm just going for a color. And I can either choose my color from this palette. I can go into, there's all my reds, there's all my oranges, all my yellows and greens, and go through the whole palette, and it gives you all those colors to choose from. Or I can actually go on and create my own color, which I do want one that's a little, I want it brighter, I want it a little softer. Let's see if this is gonna work. That's my color. Not much lighter, but enough. So now I want to go in, I'm going to pick, let's see, I think I want to pick a lighter pink. So that'll show up in my box, my circle up here. I'm going to get it where I want it. That's the color I want. I'm going to use my brush. I'm going to take my brush a little smaller. I want to go in and add some of the lighter pinks in here. Maybe right here on the outer edge, it'll show up. Okay, now let's pick this, I want a darker green to create some shadows up in here. I'm going to take my brush a little bit bigger. And again, I don't use this to do my drawings with. I use it just to get an idea of where I want to take a painting. And a couple little shadow marks down in here. Okay, now let's just go to a brighter pink. Ooh, that's a little darker than I want, but I'm going to go with it for a minute and just add some of my darker pinks in. And then I want to take this and maybe go there. Oops. Okay, now the first time this happened, it freaked me out because I was like, oh my God, what'd I do? Double tap and it'll take you back down. Double tap, it'll let you enlarge to work on a specific area. So if I wanted to do that, I could go here and I want this to be a little bit more pink on this side. And then maybe size it down, hit some areas in here to get that to blend in as well. So that, let's get it back in where we want it. Whoops, I hit that, so there we go. Yeah, I'm liking that a lot better. A lot better. Now there's some other things I want to do in here. For instance, I want to make sure, this looks like two different paintings. There's that and there's this. I want to bring that down and I don't want my vase just floating. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to once again pick this green. I'm going to go over here. Let's see what size my brush is. And I want to define this vase a little bit more. There we go. That's going to help. And let me do that a little bit cleaner. Not that I want it to be perfect, but now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a little bit more opaque, a little bit bigger, because I want to go over this area. There actually is a little flower here that whoops. There's a little flower within that box that I want to show up. And looks like I'm covering it up, but I already covered up somewhere along the line and I don't want to delete, or I'll take everything away. But what I do want to do is I want to bring these two pieces together somehow. So the best way to do that is I'm going to go into pick. Let me see, I'm going to grab this pink. Whoops. I'm going to go pick. I'm going to grab this pink. I'm going to go here. I'm going to make this brush really small. I could also, if I wanted, use another tool. Let's use another tool. How about if we come over here to the chalk? I'm going to pick, I'm going to do chalk. Let's see how big my chalk is. I'm a little bit bigger. I really like the chalk mark because it's more painterly. Now this, I'm going to give myself a little tabletop that I'm sitting on. And also make sure I have this color pulled into the bottom somehow. We can just do a little bit of, to unify them, they look like they belong together. Okay, so I've got that just as a rough draft. Now this, I think I do want this to be another color. Gonna hit my pick. I'm gonna go up to this piece of paper I have up here, which was a piece of collage paper. And let me go into my fill. Now fill is kind of cool. It'll fill things automatically. I want to take it back a little bit because I just want it to be down in this segment of the piece. Actually, I don't mind it coming up that way. Now what I do want to do is I want to take, oddly enough, a little pink from up here. I also want to put that in the fill. And let me, I want to put just a little touch of pink right here. I like that. I'm really liking that. So I'm going to hit OK. And then I want to pick a darker color because I just want to create a little bit of a, a little bit of a solid where that piece is going to sit down. Little shadow mark where that's going to sit. I am really liking this so much better now. I feel like I've pulled colors back and forth. I could take this little bit of orange and maybe put a little touch of that. Whoops. Come on. Maybe I want that over here. This to this. Just a little bit of that orange down here. So now, and I can also go and I can do a little smudge, to get my things to, give it a little bit painterly feel. And I might want to take a little bit of this off-white color. And I have a pen. I can use a pen. I don't know how big that line is. I want it more opaque. Oops, there's a little dot right there. There, that kind of gives me a feeling of where I want to go with this painting. So YouDoodle is the app I use. I don't use an Apple pen because, I try to be thrifty. I actually got a stylus, high sensitivity stylus on Amazon, and I had these two pens, and they have two sides. They have this side that kind of, you can get thin and thick lines. And they have the size that I usually use, and it's just figuring out what I want to do. I guess I can get those lines thick that way too. And just make all that go away. Because now what I want to do is I want to go into File. I want to save this. I can save it in my sketchbook. I could put a name, flowers. It's going to save it for me. I can save it as a JPEG on my camera roll, so I'll have it when I need it. Or I can also go in and share it. So if I want to share it, I can do that. And there you go. That's my quick and easy, what I do when I'm trying to figure things out. And you'll see how it shows up and how it ends up in this painting. So there you go. Okay, so that's my secret. That's my secret weapon when I'm trying to figure things out. And then what I decided to do is I took an old Thomas Brothers street guide, and it has some really great colors in it. If you haven't used those maps and atlases before, they have some really wonderful colors in them. And in this case, they had a perfect green. They had different pinks that really worked for me. So I went ahead and instead of painting, I added tore pages up and added the colors in using collage pieces from my Thomas Brothers guide. And I love how that turned out. I also love how the flower has so much texture, and that comes from so many layers that I added onto this. And that really is the beauty of doing, one of the many beauties of doing a painting, a do-over painting, is you have a lot of history underneath there. You have a lot of things that are already down on your surface that are going to add to the finished painting. And I really love all of the textures that I added in here. And most of them came from me trying to find my way out or find my way into this painting. What I used for my deeper colors of pink is actually red netting. I'm pretty sure this red netting was from a potato sack. And I never throw those away. I save them because they come in handy somewhere. And it just added even more texture to this piece. So pretty happy with the flowers and love how they turned out. And now I'll just go in and finish off this painting with details and some other changes that I want to make. One of which is put a bird on it. Can never go wrong with adding a little bird in with the flowers. So that is where I ended up. I added a doily, I added papers, I added more color, and here is a shot of where I started and where I ended up. Give YouDoodle a try, you're really gonna like it. And if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. I love that. And hit the thumbs up and the subscribe on your way out. I really love that. And make it a great day. Enjoy.